So market is retracing right now from this very point. Market is moving upwards. So will this very move be sustained in the market, and the market is going to move upward? And if you look at the Telegram channel, if you are right there on the Telegram channel, I talk about market retracement early this morning, and that is exactly what we are seeing right now on the price of Bitcoin, ETH. Market is retracing as well. And if you look at Pi right here, market is having price stability. So all of these and many more price action in this very video. Pay attention and watch the video all the way to the very end. The first thing here is the price of Bitcoin. Of course, market is going to move upward. Why? Because if you look at the way the market has been coming back to the downside, we see the market move from here into this area, retracement, come back down. What do you expect? Market should retrace upward. Okay, so I am expecting market to move into this very area of 113 and this area of 112,500. That is my personal expectation. That means this market we are seeing right now should push a little bit upward into this very area. And if you notice, this very point, this was support here, support here. So this will turn resistance at this very area, and that is what I am expecting right now. So this will be a resistance when the market begins to move into this very particular point, and that is what I'm expecting right now on the price of Bitcoin for our chart. And this is what you should also keep your eye on if you are monitoring the price of Bitcoin, because once you begin to see the price of Bitcoin move upward gradually or aggressively, the price of every other coin out there is going to still show sign of moving all the way to the upside, and that is what you need to pay attention to right now. So this is what you must keep your eye on if you want to be in the right direction of the market. Remember, I talked about it early this morning that market retracement should come in now this very day. In the next 24 to 48 hours, we begin to see the market climb all the way to the upside. This is very important right now, guys, on the price of Bitcoin for our chart. And if you look at the price of ETH, if you remember in one of my technical analysis video last week, I made mention of the fact that there is a divergence. Look at it right here. There is a divergence on this price action. If you connect from this support level to this very area, and if you connect exact same point on this very MACD indicator from this very point right here to this very area, okay, we see a divergence right at this very point, and this is a bullish divergence because market is coming back down on the price action while market is moving upward on the indicator. So what this means is market is going to move upward, and first confirmation we want to see is a breakout of this level of important resistance right here, which market have done already. The second confirmation is the histogram should start formation on the positive side of the MACD. We've not seen that yet, but that is going to happen in the next few hours. Market is going to begin to form on the positive side on this very area. That is a confirmation number 2 that I am waiting for the market to continue this move all the way to the upside. Not an aggressive move, but significant retracement to the upside is needed right now on this very price action. So this is what you must have to pay attention to on the price of ETH to be in the right direction of the market. So if you notice in the past 48 hours, we've seen the market dip down, okay, into this very area, and the market shift upward, and then right now market come back down a little bit. So I am expecting market to move upward into this very area of $4,500. Okay, this very point, very important resistance right here that will resist the market for market to come back down again. And of course, if we break here, that means the next level will be at this very point of 4,650. Okay, this very area of 4,650. That is what I am personally expecting right now, and the reason why you too need to pay attention to these levels and market retracing upward a little bit for retracement before continuation back to the downside if no resistance is broken on this very price action ETH USDT for our chart. And on the price of Pi, look at it right here. The Pi token is a pump and dump token. Some persons will not agree with me, but that is fine. But it's on price action. Look at where the market pumped from here. Market moved all the way to the upside from this very point, and come back down to the same point. Is that not a pump and dump token? Okay, so if market move upward, come back down, it means that if you are trading on futures, like I made mention of earlier in one of my videos, you can take advantage of this kind of move because it is 70 to 80% chance that if the market pump this much on Pi, it's going to come back down aggressively again. And you can take a short position on this very pair, and when market come back down, you make significant return. However, you need to consider your risks and risk what you can afford to lose. This is very important because market can keep continuing upward before the final move upward. That is why your entry and your timing is very, very important. So the price of Pi have done back down, okay, as expected. I talked about this, the market is going to move upward a little bit before the next move to the downside. Exact same thing we are seeing right now. So what next for the price of Pi from this very area? Now, before I talk about the 4-hour charts, let's look at Pi on the 1-day chart. Very, very important. If you look at it, market move upward a little bit and then come back down to the same support base. These are important support on the 1-day chart right here. Okay, so what I am expecting is not that tedious to look out for on this very price action, is for the market to bounce back to the upside. However, if we see a breakout here, okay, on this level of support, if market breaks out, then that means market is going to come back down into this very area of 0.30 just to collect more liquidity, especially from this very area of 0.32. It is called that market has not come back to this very point. Okay, so there are buy pressure right at this very point, so market can come back down if a breakout happens, collect liquidity from this very price level of 0.32 and 0.31 before the final move to the upside, and that is the 1-day chart. So what that means is if we go back to the 4-hour chart, it is covered that the market have capability of moving to the upside, at least for a retracement to the upside, because market really dumped back all the way to the downside into this area. So market moving upward is a possibility before continuation to the downside. So what I am looking at right now, if I delete this, not that important anymore. So if I look at the recent price action, it is called that a point of interest is within this very area. Very little point of interest right here, okay, right at this very point. But I will not consider that. I will consider this very one at this very area. Okay, that is what I am now paying attention to. What that means is market is going to move upward from this very area into this very point before continuation to the downside, and that is what I am expecting in the next coming days on the price of Pi USDT 4-hour chart. Pay attention to this to be in the right direction of the market. And if you look at the price of Sol has moved from this very point of support, okay, important interest that I drew, and then right now market is going to move upward. In my opinion, I am expecting that the market move up a little bit, not creation of a new high higher than this very high. I'm not expecting that yet, but a little movement upward into this area before market is going to come back down is a possibility right now on this very price action, and that is what I am looking at as well. So pay attention to market moving from this very area. If you watch one of my technical analysis video last week, I said the market is going to come back down from here into this very area before the next move upward. Exact same thing that we are seeing right now. Some persons disagree with me, and that is always very okay. But if you look at what is happening right now, what I am looking at is for the market to move upward before the next move to the downside into this area again. Okay, that possibility is still very possible on the price action Sol USD 4-hour chart. So I am not expecting the market to create a new high higher than this very high, although market can just move upward. But right now that possibility is like 20-30%. But market moving upward a little bit and coming back down is very, very high. This is what you need to pay attention to as well on the price of Sol USDT 4-hour chart. If you want to be the right direction of the market, look at this, very important. And if you look at this very price action, XRP USDT 4-hour chart, market have really come back all the way to the downside on XRP. Look at it, market hasn't coming all the way down from this very point of 0.37, market has been coming all the way to the downside. Market move down, retrace, move down, retrace, move all the way to the downside, retrace. And if you look at it, market come like this into this very area again, retrace, come back down, little retracement. And right now, this very leg of downward movement is exhausted, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. And that is why I am expecting the market to move upward from this very point. Not a crazy move all the way to the upside, but the market should move from here, break this little line of resistance, okay, upward into this very point, and then a possible move to the downside. This is what I am paying attention to right now. And if market should continue this movement all the way to the upside, I want to see a fail swing on price action. What that means is, if market break here, this level of resistance, and move into this area and come back down, create a fail swing, that means could not make a new low lower than this very low. Once that happens, then market is going to begin to move upward finally. Okay, a fail swing is very important for us to guarantee that market is going to finally begin to move upward on the higher time frame, which is the 1-day chart. And that is what we need to figure out on the 4-hour chart in this very formation. If we see this, then market is going to begin to move upward. What that means is, if we don't see a fail swing, it will mean that the market is going to just move upward and then come back to the same point, or a possible creation of a new low lower than this very low at this very point. And that is what you need to pay attention to as well on the price of XRP USDT 4-hour chart. And if you come to coin market cap, something very, very important right here is the fact that the global crypto market cap have dropped significantly to $3.77 trillion. This is a call to the fact that market can even dump more the beginning of this very month before the Fed interest rate. In my opinion, we could see the market dump a little bit to the downside before we see that Fed rate cut, which is a high possibility. 80% Fed is going to cut rate. However, this very drop on the global crypto market capitalization is very, very significant. And if you look at the altcoin index that we saw at 59 over 100 last week, have bounced back to 49, which is not good. I want to see 60 over 100 and 70 between that very range, so that we begin to see that good pump in the price of altcoin. And when we hit 80, 85, that aggressive pump is going to come in to the market. And of course, if you look at the fear and greed index, you discover that the market is gradually coming into the slightly fear level, the slightly fear area. And what this means is more dump for the market. One of the most important thing is, if you are on this very channel in the morning, I drop this very information that market is going to retrace. That means retrace upward, bullish retracement, and then market is going to move down again. However, I drop other analysis and price updates right here, on-chain data and fundamental data. So this is very important. Not only that, there are a lot of technical analysis that I dropped yesterday. So if you want to be part of this very Telegram channel, link in the description of this video. Join right now. It is a free channel. Link down below. Join right now in the description and also in the pinned comment. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto contents. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.